السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم لا سهلا إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل إذا شئت سهلا. May Allah accept our efforts towards this reading and make it easy for us. So today inshallah we'll continue reading our book titled Bulugu Al-Maram, written by Imam Hafiz Al-Asqalani. And today inshallah we'll continue reading from page 57, from the last hadith of page 56, which is 112, and inshallah we'll end our recitation reading about page 59, which is the last hadith in 117. So inshallah let's begin. Narrated by Abu Hurairah, and Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "The soil is a means of ablution for the Muslim believer, even if he does not find water for 10 years. If you don't find water for as long as it takes, keep performing tayammum. But once you find water, you should not disobey Allah. But when he finds water, you should guard against disobeying Allah and let it touch his skin." The next hadith reads that, narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, two men set out on the journey. Two men traveling. When the time of Salat prayer came, they had no water. There was no water for them to pray. What did they do? They both performed tayammum with clean earth and prayed. Later on, they found water within the time of the prayer. They have performed the prayer already with tayammum. However, when it was another time for prayer, they came across water. They were able to find water. So going further, one of them repeated the prayer, meaning that, for example, this man prayed Dhuhr with tayammum. He wanted to pray Asr now, and there is water available. Okay, this is the scenario. One of them repeated the prayers, which means one of them performed Dhuhr and then Asr together again. New one. Meaning that's making three different salats. And one of them decided not to. He performed Asr only, not previous Dhuhr. So then they came to Allah's Messenger to explain their experience and get clarification. And they related the matter to him, addressing him to the one who did not repeat. He said, "You followed the sunnah," which means that the one that performed tayammum was addressed by the Prophet telling him that he followed the sunnah. However, the other man who made extra effort to make new prayers, you followed the sunnah and your prayer was sufficient. And he said to the other person, who did it twice, he performed ablution. For you, there is double reward. You would get more reward for your action. And the next hadith reads, narrated by Ibn Abbas, regarding the explanation of the words of Allah. For example, if you are ill, or you are on a journey, or you sustain a wound or injury in the cause of Allah, and then you then become junub, or you need to take ghusl bath. All of these are possible to perform tayammum if you don't find water, if water is inaccessible to you. Next hadith, narrated by Ali, one of the bones of ulna or my forearm was broken. You sustain a broken arm. So I asked Allah's Messenger concerning the purification in this condition. You have an issue with a bandage in your hand, and then you need to get clarification. In this situation, the Prophet said you should wipe water over this arm. You shouldn't put water all over the bandage. No, just wipe over the bandage and it's sufficient, inshallah. Next hadith, narrated by Jabir, concerning the man who has sustained a wound in his head and took a bath and died. There was a man sustained an injury in the head, and this man took regular bath, and this man died. And it was reported that the Prophet said it would have been sufficient for him to perform tayammum and then bind a bandage over his wound and wipe over it. This would have been sufficient for him. But this last hadith in number 117, it reads that, narrated by Ibn Abbas, it is sunnah. Please note this. It is sunnah that a person should not pray more than one prayer with one tayammum. Then you should perform tayammum for the next salah. Like you are performing ablution, you have to perform tayammum every time. But the majority of the ulama have regarded this particular hadith as very daif, very weak. May Allah in His infinite mercy make it easy for us to understand it much better. An hadith meaning daif doesn't mean it's fabricated. Don't get this wrong, or it's a wrong hadith. Sahih hadith is an excellent hadith that the chain of narration is very strong. But when they say an hadith is daif means weak. It means that the chain of narration is not very strong. However, it is bound on us to make further research and confirm and verify. May Allah make it easy for us. See you again soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.